Kennedy's checking in from Lake City, South Carolina, and he said, I know bold prediction season is over, but I got a fun one. Kirby Smart never wins another national title. Thoughts? He may not. He may not. Now, I'm going to have to assume some things here. I'm assuming Kennedy is saying this in a very, very pejorative, negative, gleeful manner, because I don't take him to be a Georgia fan. Kirby may not win another national title. I think he's the best head coach in college football right now. So it sounds kind of like an oxymoron. It's not. It's just possible that the best in the game currently, well, it's possible I'm wrong that he's the best. But even if I'm right that he is the best, yeah, it's possible that he won 2 of them back-to-back years, and that's it. Dabo did. That's what Dabo Swinney did. He won a couple, and then I don't think Dabo will ever win another national title. What does that mean? It means he's one of the best to ever do it, and he's a Hall of Famer. That's what it means for Dabo Swinney. Kirby Smart, if he never wins another national title, will be one of the best to ever do it, and he'll be a Hall of Famer, and he will have totally redefined what Georgia football is. That's worst case scenario, I guess. The playoff is a crapshoot. So Georgia made the playoff this year. Total crapshoot. They could have won the thing, or they could have been eliminated in their first game, which they were. And neither was like a total shock. Neither would have been a total shock. I don't think that's the skill. The skill is not in winning it. Yes, there is skill in winning a national title, but there's a lot of luck that's going to go into that. The skill as a head coach is in having your program within reaching distance every year. And Kirby Smart has continued to do that, and I think Kirby Smart will continue to do that. And as long as he does that, he's one of the very best that there is doing it. It is extremely hard to beat them. Think about the effort it takes to beat Georgia, how hard it is to cut the head off the snake. You saw Ole Miss do it the other night. How many times have you ever seen a quarterback performance like that? A handful? And so, yeah, it's true that they're struggling to a certain degree at Georgia with the new realities of college football. You can't stack a roster the way you used to. But here's the thing. Once that started happening to Nick Saban, he just retired. His career was done. I mean, it's etched in stone, greatest of all time. But Saban was also in his early 70s. Kirby's not. So he could retire today. For all I know, he's going to retire tomorrow and rides off into the sunset and he's good. Probably not, though. So, like, that wasn't in the cards for Kirby. Kirby had to deal with the new reality. I'd say they're dealing with it a whole lot better than Dabo is at Clemson, and it sounds like I'm taking shots there. I'm not. I just view 2 of those careers running kind of sort of parallel a little bit, and one of them still has his program within swinging distance, within reach of the national championship every year, and the other one doesn't. Hey, do me one favor right here. Look down. Are you subscribed to the channel? If you are, thank you. If you're not, please click subscribe. It helps us keep the show free and free of corporate interference. All right, that's it for me. Back to the clip. So if he doesn't win another one, or if he wins 3 more, I don't really think that much different about him as a head coach. I will also say about this year's Georgia team, I thought they did another really good job. Left a lot to be desired at the end. I know that. But the offensive line on that team was a wreck at times this year, and yet they still resurrected their ground game. The pass rush emerged. I think that defensive staff did a heck of a job of continuing to just squeeze the sponge and squeeze the sponge. And you thought that you had gotten all the water out of it early in the year, and then they squeezed harder, and they got a few more drops out of it. And that pass rush came on late in the year. And I didn't know that that was going to be there. And it was there. They actually hit on portal wide receiver to the degree that if they didn't have Branch, what would they have had? Now, you may have lacked the downfield consistent threat. I think that's more tied to the quarterback position and what you do and don't have there than it was that you just didn't have any capable receivers. Let me tell you this. I know a lot of people around this league. The league expected Georgia to be down this year. Down. Historically down by Georgia standards, if you're picking up what I'm putting down. And what they do, they won the SEC again. In my opinion, Georgia has won the SEC in back-to-back years in what I would consider very off-the-pace Georgia teams. Now, it may be that I haven't properly recalibrated my prism on Georgia, and I'm still thinking about that 2021 team, and the reality is no Georgia team's ever going to look like that. I get that. I mean, even using the new landscape, and using that as the barometer. I don't think these past two Georgia teams were like remarkably special, and they've won the league back-to-back years. Now, is that an indictment on the SEC partly? Yes, it is, but that's not their fault. And it ain't Georgia's fault. And so they've still been the best of the league 2 years in a row, and that surprises me. Or it doesn't surprise me at all. It just kind of, it makes me back away from the table when a lot of people are criticizing what Georgia is and isn't right now. I don't know. I mean, I may be too nice to them. As for the teams that are remaining in the playoff, you can go to FanDuel right now, and you've got Miami and Ole Miss there. You got Indiana, Oregon there. College football playoff profit booster there. You'll see it right when you go to the college football tab. You'll see the profit boost. I mean, it's got a nice, shiny lightning bolt there. It's really easy to see. So profit boost on all the college football playoff games. I went 1-1 on the prop bets that I liked last week. I loved Oregon over on the rushing yards, and that busted. I loved Miami over on the rushing yards, and that we killed it on that. So I'm gonna take a nice, healthy look at the prop market later this week. May have some to hand out. Quick Trip will fuel us there. We will be there. So did you see Signetti and McAfee have a moment, Jesse? Did you see McAfee's just bowed up at him, and Signetti looks over like Hannibal Lecter, heart rate never above 80, gives him the finger guns, and then just goes and disembowels Alabama. If that's what Dan needs, if he needs to find someone to make eye contact with, now I don't think the heart rate's going to be below 80, maybe below 180, but I don't think that Dan Lanning's heart rate has ever been that low to begin with. But if he needs to find someone, and he could do finger guns, he could do any of a number of finger gestures. If that's what he needs pregame, we'll be there. Daniel, if you need it, we'll be there for you. Courtesy of Quick Trip. Quick Trip fueling us. They have fueled our tour the entire year, and we will be in Atlanta. That is the Friday night game. And we've had fun this year, man. I don't know how many miles we've logged, but Quick Trip has fueled us every step of the way. The Fall Don't Lie Tour has been a phenomenal success. I don't know who judges such things, so I'm just going to say it was a success. And we will be in the Peach Bowl, and that's in Mercedes-Benz Stadium in my home state of Georgia. But that's not all, because the night before, we will be in Glendale, Arizona at the Fiesta Bowl, and guess who's playing there? Miami and Ole Miss. We are guaranteed, ladies and gentlemen, to have a first-time national championship winning head coach. And we are still like 16 days away from the national title game. But we already know, because all four of these guys are going to be, Jesse, they would be playing for a national title for the first time, right? I'm not missing anything. I think they would all be playing for it. And certainly they would be winning one for the first time. So a lot of miles that we're going to log later this week. Thankfully, Quick Trip is there every step of the way.